Sponsored by CuriosityStream. It's Friday, and that means I'm taking 3 stories that are important but that either wouldn't fill a full video or I just dropped the ball on and didn't manage to fit in during the week. It's codenamed The Wrap because Smart YouTube Mafia was taken, and if you have stories you want to see covered next week or any week thereafter, just drop them in the comments or hit me up on Twitter anytime. On deck for today are Apple events galore, Facebook's terrible very worst week, and Tesla's new Model Y. I'm Rene Ritchie, and this is Vector. After starting off the year in pretty typical stealth mode, Apple decided to blow things up this week, announcing not just its much-rumored March event, but the dates for WWDC 2019 as well. The date for the March event is Monday the 25th, like John Pachowski revealed on BuzzFeed a couple of weeks ago. Here's the invitation I got. It's showtime. Please join us for an Apple special event at the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino. So yeah, I'll be there to bring you folks back all of the action, which, based on the invitation, could focus exclusively around Apple's new video service, which just added Captain Marvel star Brie Larson to its lineup, and the new premium news service. But what about new hardware, you ask? What about the toys? Previous March events have featured new iPads, new Macs, the iPhone SE. What about all the atoms? Yeah, well, the bad news is it doesn't sound like there'll be much of any hardware at the event itself. Apple's going to want attention focused exclusively on its big shows and big stars, not on new gear. And none of the gear rumored for this spring is really that new. No radical redesigns, at least not until later this year. But hear me out, the good news is when Apple's done that in the past, like WWDC last year, they've dropped those more procedural hardware updates either right before to keep things clear for the event or right after as follow-up. So if there are new iPads or Pods, Air or Touch, new watch bands or iPhone colors, I expect we'll see them sooner and later anyway, just not on stage. And hopefully whatever star power Apple does have at the March event will more than make up for the lack of gadget power. Now, for WWDC, no invitations have gone out yet. People get that wrong every damn year. What went out so far was an email to developers that literally says, this is not an invitation. It's just letting developers know registration is open so they can apply for the ticket lottery. Press invitations for the Monday keynote, as usual, will probably go out closer to the event. But all that aside, Apple also launched the official website for WWDC 2019 and revealed the date. Write code, blow minds, Animoji exploding swift. I love it. As sleuthed by Joe Rossignol at Mac Rumors a couple of weeks back, the Worldwide Developer Conference runs from June 3 to June 7. And once again, it's being held at the McHenry Convention Center in San Jose, California, which essentially just becomes the Apple community for a week. If Apple holds true to pattern, it'll kick off Monday morning with a public keynote presentation hosted by CEO Tim Cook.
Good morning! Good morning!
And featuring Craig Federighi on iOS 13 and macOS 10.15, Kevin Lynch on watchOS 6, and yeah, Eddie Q on tvOS 13, with a host of supporting VPs, engineers, and designers, and who knows, maybe a surprise or two. Then we'll get State of the Union, the closed developers keynote that afternoon, the Apple Design Awards that evening, and we'll be off to the races for the rest of the week, capping it all off with Beer Bash at the end. And yeah, I'll be there as well, of course, to bring you back all of the action as it happens. Now, here's where I also remind everyone that Apple's graphic design department just gets given a set of requirements for the artwork. That includes a general theme, but they don't take it upon themselves to add any extra hints or extra Easter eggs. So when you see people trying to read those tea leaves, just picture everyone in GD drinking and laughing their asses off at all the bad guesses, because that's just exactly what they do every year. Now, sure, maybe Animoji means more AR, and maybe black means dark mode redesign we've all been waiting for. Or maybe grinning, brain-bursting monkeys and bots are just grinning, brain-bursting monkeys and bots. If you've got any guesses or flat-out wishes, drop them for me in the comments below. I'd love to know. Facebook, yeah, again, and ... again. I've lost count. But in a year of not good, very bad weeks, this was one of the not best, absolute worst weeks for Facebook yet. I don't want to dwell on it. I don't want to pile on it or whatever, but I do want to make sure it's front of mind for all of us because, like it or loathe it, Facebook has become critical internet infrastructure for much of the world. And that means even if we've long since deleted our accounts, we still can't ignore what they're doing and how they're affecting, no exaggeration, human culture. So here's the list, again, just for this week. On Monday, Facebook found itself embroiled in controversy after removing ads placed by U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, who, of course, was calling for big tech companies like Facebook, as well as Amazon, Google, and even Apple, to be broken up. On Tuesday, the British government tabled a report claiming Facebook and other big tech companies were hindering consumer choice, with remedies including the requirement to make data portable and transferable between platforms. On Wednesday, a grand jury impaneled by federal prosecutors in New York subpoenaed records as part of an ongoing investigation into data sharing deals struck between Facebook and up to 150 other tech companies, including Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and Sony. Also on Wednesday, large parts of Facebook, including Facebook itself, Instagram, and WhatsApp, experienced sweeping, prolonged outages that prevented people from accessing the services. An outage made all the more frustrating and bizarre by Facebook's inability or unwillingness to provide clear explanations, both during and following the incident, about what happened and why. An issue with quote-unquote server configuration change is all anyone's gotten out of them so far. On Thursday, Bloomberg published a scathing essay on Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook's quote-unquote apology machine. Now, yes, Bloomberg is the company that accused Apple, Amazon, and 150 other companies of being big hacked by Chinese hardware, and despite those companies and even governments pushing back, has never, not ever followed up with any further corroboration or a retraction. But yeah, the cover and soundboard are aces. This on the same day that it was announced Chris Cox, Facebook's chief product officer, and Chris Daniels, who's run WhatsApp since the founders peaced out, are leaving, allegedly due to disagreements with Zuckerberg over his new quote-unquote privacy direction. Then, later on Thursday, Facebook and other social networks from 8chan to Reddit to YouTube to Twitter were used to spread a horrific, depraved act of criminal inhumanity and violence that I don't intend to help expose any further here, because that's exactly what it was carefully, disgustingly architected to do. Though I do want to point out that Facebook's products have been used to organize and spread violence in other parts of the world for years. Even if we give Facebook and Zuckerberg every benefit of the doubt and assume from the very beginning everything they built was for the very best, most altruistic, most humanitarian of reasons to connect the world and everyone in it, to make life better life, even with that benefit and assumption, by any measure, they've failed miserably, catastrophically. They've created a monster. That's the bitterest of pills for any parent to swallow, to look at their child, their beautiful child, and see the destruction they've wrought and the harm they will continue to bring. But it's one that has to be swallowed if they're going to be able to affect any real change. And I guess that's my question to you here. What, if anything, can they do about it, and what can we do about it going forward? Now, probably the biggest product news in tech this week happened late last night. Tesla debuted its much-anticipated Model Y. And yeah, if you leave out the Roadster's original and upcoming, we get it. Model S, Model 3, Model X, Model Y, S3XY. Sexy Elon, sexy back. I don't have much to say about it yet because actual delivery is still a ways off. I still have a reservation for a Model 3 that I've yet to pull the trigger on, mainly because I've seen enough issues with enough friends who have Teslas, everything from huge problems with the money and finances to having to get their cars towed to other provinces for service, that it moved me from fast forward to hard pause. But if you're deeply into Tesla or you have deep concerns too, let me know what you think of the Model Y in the comments and whether I should pull a Tesla trigger or not. I mean, if nothing else, these big, beautiful displays would be just perfect to catch up on CuriosityStream. It's a subscription streaming service that offers over 2,000 documentaries and non-fiction titles from some of the world's best filmmakers, including exclusive originals. For example, The Next World. It's all about the new technology developing now that will change the way we live, work, and play in the future. Everything I just spoke about. And you can watch it right on your iPhone, your Galaxy, your Apple TV, your Chromecast. I don't actually know about Tesla, but Elon should absolutely get on that ASAP if not, because it works on just about everything else. Science, nature, history, technology, society, lifestyle, it's all right there, right for you. So you're not just watching, you're learning. Go to curiositystream.com/vector and enter the promo code VECTOR to kickstart your membership completely free for the first 30 days. Thanks, CuriosityStream, and thanks to all of you for supporting the show. And that's a wrap. So many Apple events so soon. Facebook's absolutely terrible, worst of all weeks. And the Model Y. Why? Because Elon says so. Now, I'd love to hear what you think about any and all of these stories and about what you'd love to see me cover next. Hit like, hit subscribe, it really helps out the channel, and then hit up the comments below and let me know. And thank you so much for watching.